All right, so now we're going to be looking at making patterns. Okay, these are called Zentangles if you look them up on the internet. And basically, they're very small patterns that, when used correctly in Illustrator, can fill bigger objects. So I'm going to demonstrate this. Um, Basically, I gave you one already. This is a very small shape, and if you kind of look at it, I basically used the pencil tool to create this type of look. And then if I want to go like that, I can now take this point. Now, this is just demonstration. There's a bunch of different variations of it with this URL, okay? So if you go to this URL, there is tons and tons of ways to develop these. Again, this is just an example of that. Okay, so I could take this one, flip it around. And this time maybe I want to do something a little bit different. I can take this. Cool. I'm going to kind of utilize this one here in a second, but they must fill in this box. Okay, so when done, they should fit directly in the box. For example, what do you mean? Gotta fit in a box. Oh no. So if you looked at this one, it's not square. Okay. So how many more could be added? 2 more. Then could it be added to the box? Yes, if I squished it down. And make it so that the pattern, if you kind of look at it, this touches here, this touches here. I want to leave them open. In other words, don't fill these in, because what will happen is I want to turn this into something later on where people add color to these. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is illustrate the next wave. Once you get all these done, we're going to develop patterns with them. Okay, so a way to do that: first, you save this document. It's all the way done. You got to use your imagination with me for a second. Okay, it's all the way done. All the patterns are there. In fact, I'll make one more to reinforce this. By the way, you can't use this pattern. This was just an example. Cool. So all your patterns are done. The next step is to save this document, because this is what you're going to submit to me. As first name, period last name, period AI. And we'll call this patterns, underscore patterns. Please use that naming convention. So along with this file, you're going to be handing me another file of the patterns. Okay, so this is how that's done. You'll highlight the pattern for each one, object, pattern, make. And what you'll do is you'll click this button, and this allows you to move the pattern window over just a little bit so they all touch. So now you have a repeatable pattern. And try to keep this a little even so it's even on both sides. There we go. Cool. Choose 9 by 9. And we'll call this something. We'll call this, I don't know, seeds. Okay. Go ahead and save a copy. Call it seeds. Nope. Seeds 2. There we go. Hit cancel, and it's now saved. It's actually saved twice. Okay, drop this down, and you should have a copy of that located in here somewhere. And it didn't work. Okay, let's try that again. Object, pattern, make. I'm on a PC instead of a Mac. It feels kind of groggy. 9 by 9. I'm going to leave this name as new pattern. Seeds 3. The new pattern has been added to your swatch panel. Okay. I'm going to hit done. And there it is. Oh, and along with the other one that I made earlier. Awesome. So now what I can do is, let's say I take the pencil tool, which is located here, and I just make a shape. I can now take that shape and fill it with a pattern. Ooh, very powerful. Now, when you get all the way done, you'll have all 12 of these made. If you make an extra one, please delete it by clicking and dragging it into the trash. You should only have 12. Then you'll go save swatch library as AI. And you'll call this first name, period, last name, underscore library. And save. Do that for each pattern. So once you get done, the same library should be done. So every time you make one, you can go, like, if you want, you can keep saving right over the library until you get all the way done. You'll hand in both files, the library and the patterns. Okay? So that is part 1. Enjoy.